It started quietly. A blue injection pen, once meant for people with diabetes, became the most whispered name in Hollywood, and then the most Googled phrase in America, Ozempic. Suddenly, it wasn't just a prescription drug. It was a punchline in late-night shows, a secret in celebrity circles, and a hashtag that racked up billions of views on TikTok. People called it the shot that melts fat. But what really happened here? Why did one diabetes medication suddenly become the symbol of a cultural obsession with thinness, control, and transformation? Let's rewind. Ozempic wasn't invented as a beauty product or a quick fix trend. It was developed by a Danish company, Novo Nordisk, to help people with type 2 diabetes manage blood sugar levels. The drug's active ingredient, semaglutide, mimics a hormone naturally produced in your gut. GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1. This hormone helps your body do a few things. It slows digestion, signals fullness to your brain, and helps your pancreas release insulin more efficiently. But here's where science met serendipity. Patients using Ozempic for diabetes started noticing they were losing weight. A lot of it. And not in a jittery caffeine pill way, in a slow, steady, I'm just not as hungry anymore kind of way. Soon, word got out. Doctors began prescribing it off-label for weight management, and within months, Ozempic turned from a diabetes shot into a cultural phenomenon. But Ozempic was just the beginning. The secret ingredient, how GLP-1 changed everything. To understand what happened next, we need to understand the biology behind the buzz. Inside your body, GLP-1 acts like a natural traffic controller for appetite and metabolism. It's released when you eat, telling your stomach to slow down and your brain to say, "We've had enough." It also keeps blood sugar stable, reducing insulin spikes that can lead to cravings. Pharmaceutical scientists looked at this and thought, what if we could amplify that signal? That's how GLP-1 agonists were born, drugs that mimic or enhance the effects of this hormone. Ozempic, semaglutide, was the first GLP-1 agonist to hit mainstream fame, but not the first to exist. Before it came Byetta, exenatide in 2005, then Victoza, liraglutide, and eventually Trulicity, dulaglutide. Each version was designed to last longer in the body, require fewer injections, and deliver stronger appetite suppression. By the time Ozempic launched, the groundwork was already laid. But Ozempic's marketing and its uncanny effectiveness made it the face of the GLP-1 revolution. Wegovy, Ozempic's sibling with a new purpose. In 2021, Novo Nordisk released a new version of semaglutide, the same molecule as Ozempic, but officially approved for chronic weight management. Its name, Wegovy. Wegovy is, in essence, Ozempic's twin. Same active ingredient, same weekly injection, but prescribed to people without diabetes, specifically for obesity treatment. That distinction made all the difference. With FDA approval for weight loss, Wegovy moved from the gray zone of off-label to legitimate tool. And the results? In large clinical trials, people taking Wegovy lost an average of 15% of their body weight over 68 weeks, far beyond what lifestyle or older diet drugs ever achieved. But with popularity came problems: supply shortages, skyrocketing demand, and ethical debates. Some people with diabetes couldn't get their medication because others were using it for aesthetic reasons. Doctors faced wait lists, pharmacies sold out, and online telehealth startups began marketing weight loss shots to anyone with a credit card. Ozempic had gone viral, Wegovy made it official, and then a new player entered the scene. Mounjaro, the game changer. While everyone was talking about Ozempic, another pharmaceutical giant, Eli Lilly was quietly working on something more ambitious. Their drug, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, didn't just act on GLP-1, it also mimicked a second hormone, GIP, glucose-dependent insulinotropic peptide. Think of it like a dual-action signal for both appetite and metabolism. If GLP-1 tells your body, "Hey, you're full," then GIP whispers, "Let's burn energy more efficiently." When Mounjaro entered clinical trials, researchers were stunned. Participants lost up to 22% of their body weight, nearly as much as some patients achieve after bariatric surgery. It wasn't just another Ozempic, it was the next evolution. The FDA approved Mounjaro in 2022 for diabetes, but the company soon pushed for approval as a dedicated weight loss drug under a new brand name, Zepbound. Zepbound, the next generation. Zepbound officially hit the US market in late 2023, and it changed the tone of the conversation. It was the first dual-agonist therapy explicitly designed for obesity, not diabetes. People began calling it the upgraded Ozempic. And in a sense, that's true. While Ozempic and Wegovy target just GLP-1 receptors, Zepbound activates both GLP-1 and GIP receptors, creating a synergistic effect. Patients lose more weight, experience fewer plateaus, and in some cases, even show improved energy and mood, though side effects like nausea and fatigue remain. Mounjaro and Zepbound are both developed by Eli Lilly, marking the first time Novo Nordisk faced a true rival in the GLP-1 landscape. Competition sparked innovation, and a race to the future began. The pipeline. What's coming next? Behind the scenes, biotech companies are in a full sprint to develop the next generation of these drugs. We're entering what scientists call the incretin era. Some names to watch: retatrutide. Eli Lilly's triple-agonist targets GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors, currently in late-stage trials. Early data show potential weight loss over 24%, an unprecedented number. CagriSema, Novo Nordisk's combo of cagrilintide, an amylin analog, plus semaglutide, designed to work on satiety from two angles at once. Oral semaglutide, already available in a diabetes dose as Rybelsus, with higher dose trials underway for weight management, aiming to replace injections. We're looking at an arms race between drug makers, each trying to make the next shot more potent, more durable, and maybe someday pill-based. The risks and realities. But amid the hype and hashtags, there's a quieter side of the story, the one happening in doctors' offices. Because while GLP-1 drugs are revolutionary, they're not magic. Common side effects include nausea, constipation, diarrhea, and fatigue. Some people experience Ozempic face, the sudden hollowing of cheeks and loss of facial fat as weight drops quickly. Others report muscle loss, hair thinning, or changes in mood and appetite that feel unsettling. More seriously, GLP-1 drugs carry warnings for pancreatitis, gallbladder issues, and possible thyroid tumors. In rodents, though not confirmed in humans. And when people stop the injections, many regain much of the lost weight within months, because the drug's effects vanish when the signal stops. That's why most doctors describe them as long-term medications, not short-term fixes. So the real question becomes, are we ready for a world where millions of people might stay on weekly injections for years? Maybe decades? Access, cost, and controversy. Then there's the practical reality: cost and access. Without insurance, these drugs can cost between $900 and $1,300 a month. Even with coverage, prior authorizations and shortages are common. Some insurance plans still label them as cosmetic and refuse to pay unless there's a diabetes diagnosis. Others limit refills, forcing patients to scramble between pharmacies. Meanwhile, compounding pharmacies and telehealth startups advertise cheaper semaglutide. But not all versions are legitimate or safe. The FDA has issued warnings about compounded products that don't meet purity standards or use untested ingredients. For the everyday person, that means navigating a confusing maze. Who can prescribe it? Is my version real? How long can I afford it? And for doctors, it's a new ethical puzzle. How do you balance medical need, mental health, and body image pressures in a culture that still glorifies thinness? The human side. Why people really want these shots. When you strip away the headlines, the hashtags, and the pharma battles, what's left is something deeply human. People turn to these injections not just to lose weight, but to feel in control. To quiet a hunger that once felt impossible to manage. To walk into a room and feel at ease in their own skin. And for many, GLP-1 medications are the first thing that ever worked. For years, obesity was blamed on willpower. Now, science is reframing it as a metabolic disease, one influenced by genetics, hormones, and brain chemistry. These drugs don't erase effort. They simply make effort possible. And that shift, from shame to science, might be the most important change of all. The future, beyond the injection. Right now, GLP-1 drugs are the hottest topic in medicine. but they're also a gateway to a broader understanding of how the gut, brain, and metabolism interact. Researchers are exploring GLP-1's effects on addiction, depression, even Alzheimer's disease. It turns out this hormone doesn't just regulate hunger. It influences dopamine, reward pathways, and inflammation throughout the body. Imagine a future where a single molecule could help reset not just appetite, but emotional well-being. We're not there yet, but the possibilities are real. So let's circle back to where we began. Ozempic, the little blue pen that started it all. What began as a diabetes treatment turned into a cultural mirror, reflecting everything about our era. Our relationship with our bodies, our expectations of medicine, and our hunger, literal and emotional, for transformation. But if there's one truth behind the hype, it's this. The GLP-1 revolution isn't just about weight loss. It's about understanding the biology of craving, comfort, and control. Ozempic opened the door. Wegovy and Zepbound are walking us through it. And what lies beyond might redefine not just how we lose weight, but how we understand ourselves. The future of medicine, they say, may not be about fixing what's broken, but rebalancing what's been miswired. And that's the science behind the hype. If you had unlimited money and access, would you try those weight loss injectables? Drop your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beauty deep dives that go beneath the skin.